Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Father's Day episode for Cowboys CanFan. Alex is trying to listen to himself to see if we have that echo, and I don't know if we do or not, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna fuck it and do it live. We're gonna do it live.
I don't think there's an echo. I'm just double checking here.
It doesn't matter because we're gonna fuck it and
One
do
sec,
it live.
one sec.
We're gonna do it live.
I don't think there's an echo. No, good. We are golden. We are golden.
It's crazy because without.
Okay, well,
Can you hear me, Alex?
I can hear you just perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, this is modern. We're using modern.
Yeah,
Hey.
You're
Crack them if you got them.
crack 'em if you got 'em, son. So we're my computer, I think, is what was screwing us up here. So I'm just trying to fix some stuff here while we're doing it live anyways, you know what I'm saying? We're hostless today. So it's two co-hosts taking over the episode. It's like we're the New World Order and we're taking over the WCW right now. And we're
Too bad.
we're cracking them if we got them.
Crack them if you got them. We
This is
got two bandwagon boys and no host.
Yeah, I'm getting some really shaky, like you keep cutting in
Audio?
and out. Yeah. And I feel like the stream, one second here. We are struggling here.
All right, take your time.
This is the first time that we're ever getting issues with the internet, which is bizarre.
Oh, your place?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Give it a second. It'll iron itself out. We're doing a slow roll in today's episode. So, we're going to start with some Cowboys news as soon as the host gets here because there's a few things on the docket.
Oh fuck. There's crazy because this is 1 second. I'm getting errors that I've never gotten before on here. Receiving technical difficulties. This is what happens when we try to record or stream without Anthbest. So let's see if I can turn some stuff down
It
here.
happens.
See if it can sort itself out.
We got Nate Rosario up in the chat. So crack if you got him.
Yeah.
Bear with us while we just figure this out. But once it's going smoothly, we got some good chat. We got some good stuff to chat about the Cowboys Nation.
Ridiculous. Let's see what we got. I'm just making some troubleshooting tests.
While you're doing that, I got a story.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit us.
So I'm over in Mexico, hence the Mexican Dallas Cowboys flag on my last stop before returning to reality in Chilliwack, BC, Canada, where we host our podcast from in the basement of bandwagon boy number one, which we've really done up, as you can tell. It looks pretty cool. I'm excited to get back in studio, and I'm sure everyone else is excited to have me there too. But on my flight back over, I had like a 33-hour flight. So I had a 10-hour flight or 11-hour flight almost from Bangkok to Germany. Then I had a 10-hour layover in Germany, and then I had another 11-hour flight from Germany to Cancun, where I like to come and just basically eat tacos and burritos and fajitas.
Okay.
And on my flight over, I started to get like some pain in my testicle, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it's because I'm sitting around." Sitting on them for so long. So woke up the next morning, it was still sore, kind of like a bruise, it felt like. And I was like, oh man, I better go check this out. Like, I hope it's not like cancer or something like that. So went to a doctor, and she was like, "Oh, maybe it's like a bacterial infection or something." So she gave me some meds to take, and I had to like pull my balls out and show her, and she was like feeding them around, and like this other nurse is in the room and she's shining her phone on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hope you're not taking pictures. Anyway.
And they're gonna release it on like they're gonna release it as an NFT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are the biggest my balls have ever been. They weren't like super swollen at all, but they were just like sore to touch. So I went to a ultrasound because they had to go check out what's wrong. It was scheduled for the next day. So I woke up and things were feeling a lot better, but it's like, whatever, there's no way the medication worked this quickly. So who knows? Go to the ultrasound. It's another female doctor. This was an older one, so it's much more comfortable. And she puts this cold gel on my balls and starts scanning around and looks at my fine testicle first. And she's telling me, and she's like measuring it.
What up, what up, what up,
what up?
Chicken in the motherfucking hizzo.
Alex is in
the motherfucking hizzo. Chicken in the motherfucking hizzo. I thought I was gonna run out of gas. My fuel light went on in mission.
Yeah, well, guess what? We've been experiencing major problems with the cast right now.
Oh, you shaved.
Yeah, thanks. Well, Alex is in the middle of talking about his balls being infected with some sort of bacterial STD infection, and
that's no good.
We lost all of our viewers.
Was there people on?
I think so.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh shit, son.
Okay, so finish your story.
I need some shades.
Yeah, finish your story before we go in and start promoting everything.
So we're live.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
So I go in, and the story basically to date is had some testicle pain. Woke up on my flight over. Woke up the next day. It was still sore. Saw a doctor. They thought maybe it could be like some infection.
It's probably crotch rot.
It was crotch rot. Yeah. Set me up with an ultrasound. They start ultrasounding my balls and measure them. And they were of average size, by the way. And
Actually.
She goes to the other one and she's like, everything looks good. Let me just check out the epididymis or whatever it's called. It's like this. No, that's skin. This is like something that's like attached to the ball sack. She's like,
check your chode. Is that what she's doing? Checking your chode?
Check my chode.
Crack him if you
like,
got him.
No, it's like,
son.
Crack him if you got him. It's the veins that are attached to pump blood in and out.
Okay.
It's like everything's working fine, but you got varicose veins in your balls.
Oh, ball veins.
So I have I got some old man swollen varicose vein balls. Anyways, they're feeling good now. But it is something I gotta like go in when I get back home and like get checked out and make sure like I'm gonna be fertile and all that stuff. So
well, that was a great introduction into this. I'm
great.
I mean, in all honesty, that we're starting to go. Alex's audio is messed up. Everything we were getting. I've never seen this YouTube error before. Something's going.
We're being doxxed.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the computer, and I can't restart. So we're
is Law Nation doxing us?
Possibly.
So what? Have we talked any Cowboy shit or just AJ's ball fungus?
This has been AJ's balls. As I was troubleshooting, AJ was giving us a rant.
Oh, that's cool.
We were trying to kill some time for 15, 20 minutes.
So you guys went. So I was late. We were out for my father-in-law's Father Day. Happy Father Day to everyone out there, by the way. Yeah. Time kind of got out of hand. I drove in with Tay and her dad. And we were out for lunch, and then of course we're trying to pay. The debit machine broke down. Anyways, I'm here. I thought I was going to run out of gas. I thought I was going to be sprinting up Promontory Road to get here, but I'm here. Did you guys shout out our socials? It's all at Cowboys CanFan. And anyone watching, you know where to find it. You found us here on YouTube. Everything else, any others of our socials is at Cowboys CanFan. We're going to jump into this son of a bitch right now because I know Ad Best has a Father's Day thing to get to tonight. So we're going to jump in right off the hop to something. And you think I'd be happy about this article that I found here, but I'm not. I'm actually kind of mad. So it's ranking the NFL's best offensive play callers ahead of the 2022 season. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram post.
I don't look at anything that you post.
Good.
Ever.
Perfect. That's a great way to promote us. You're supposed to lie.
You meant Cowboys CanFan. The way, so usually when I'm saying, like, I'm talking about a team that I'm cheering for, I say we. If I'm talking about a podcast that we do together, I say we.
Yep.
I thought you meant your personal Instagram.
No, no one looks at my personal.
I do
There you
follow
go.
your
So
Cowboys
do you
CanFan.
guys know? So we're looking at this, ranking the NFL's best offensive play callers ahead of the 2022 season. Who do you think was number 1 in the NFL?
I know who's number 2.
Well, yeah, because you saw
because
the
I
post.
look at the Cowboys CanFan.
But who do you think was number 1?
No way.
Brian Leftwich.
3. He was number 3.
Okay. So then I'm not
I
sure.
spy with my little eye something that looks like the Kool-Aid man.
Are you just talking about Andy Reid?
Andy Reid. So Andy Reid was number 1.
I thought I was like one of those trick things that you were trying to pull
So
up.
he's not even an offensive coordinator, but he does call the offensive plays for KC. So he was number 1. This is PFF. And PFF, I don't know. They ranked the Cowboys as what? I can't remember what their offensive line was, but it was like top 5. 6 or something.
5th, yeah.
And then, okay, so they have Andy Reid as number 1, and then number 2, Kellen Moore.
Yep.
What?
PFF ranked Kellen Moore as the number 2
Scan over, but there you go.
best offensive coordinator or offensive play caller in football. How fucked up is that?
Well, I mean, I guess when the offense, the Dallas Cowboys offense,
The fuck was that?
Zagama Beach.
Got him.
when you have the Cowboys as like the offensive team last year, the numbers that they put up, I guess you have to give some credit to the offensive coordinator.
They did all right. Okay, so this might be a head scratcher for some, but Moore was terrific in 2021. The Cowboys managed to rank 3rd in yards per play and 1st in points scored despite dealing with injuries to the offensive line, the continued fall off of running back Ezekiel Elliott, a season-ending injury to Michael Gallup, which just can't count. This was like the very last game of the season or second last game of the season, and a significant decline from quarterback Dak Prescott post-calf injury. Not to mention, Moore helped backup signal caller Cooper Rush win a primetime game in Minnesota. It was a pretty impressive season for the former Boise State quarterback. See, I don't think it was. I think you could look at stats, and yeah, they scored the most points and ranked 3rd in yards per play. But we watched every single offensive snap of the Cowboys, and I guaranteed Dak's injury might have had and Zeke's injury might have had a little bit of to do with the fall off that you saw with your eyes in the second half of the season. Right. Because no one can argue against that the Cowboys in the second half of the season, their offense looked like it was sputtering.
Right.
Hey, look, in fairness, I certainly did technically watch every play of the Dallas Cowboys season, but I can't promise that I was
coherent enough.
I was coherent at 100%. But here's the thing about this is you can cherry pick like these injuries happen. You can cherry pick anything in the NFL, and you know what? Maybe to PFF they had a good reason, but the problem that we've always had with Kellen Moore is his predictability. We call him vanilla pudding for a reason.
But we did call him the Dungeon Master before.
I know we were. I mean, it's very. Someone
we did say that before. We were all up on Kellen Moore's dick, like AJ's ball rash.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like a lot of the times, what we do on this podcast is we overhedge who we like, and then we fucking don't want anything to do with them.
Yep,
at all.
But
except the only people that we seem to never get off their dick on is like Dak Prescott.
I can be critical of Dak.
You can be critical, but
Lieutenant
you're never
Dan?
like hitting him. Lieutenant Dan,
we've been big fans of.
But Schultz, we know
Micah.
the big Schultz thing. I think where people got your Galby was texting Anthony, and he said 1 minute we love Schultz, the next minute we fucking hate him. That's just because we're scorned. We're very sensitive on here.
We're Cowboys fans.
We can dish it, but we can't take it sometimes.
Yeah, like we're Cowboys fans. We're gonna be very
we're
hypersensitive to what we think.
I would have had much more respect with Schultz if he would have messaged us back and told us to shut our fucking mouths. You know?
Oh, for sure. I would have been like, shit, Schultze's badass. Instead, he blocked us.
Yeah.
He blocks us and then goes back to Twitch. That really pisses me off.
Yeah. So, but back to this Kellen Moore at number 2. It's a huge head scratcher because guys on the list below him, you got Byron Leftwich, Tampa's been pretty good. Kyle Shanahan, I think, has been a really good offensive coordinator. Sean McVay, sorry, not offensive coordinator. They're both head coaches, but they still call the plays, which is kind of interesting here because 3 of the top
Head coach.
5 are head coaches, which brings it to the point, like at some point, and we kind of talked about this with Barry last week, at some point this year, if the offense starts sputtering in like a big playoffs, should Mike McCarthy, because Mike McCarthy is also a play caller, should Mike McCarthy step in and kind of be like, yo, Kellen, Mike McCarthy is going to be playing for his head, or he's going to be
playing for his jab.
Yeah, he's going to be head coaching for his jab this year. Are you guys Caps? Are you Caps?
Yeah, me Caps. Happy Father's Day, Dallas Cowboys, Chris.
What up, Chris? How's it going, man? Happy Father's Day.
Father's Day.
No, the only ones on the show that have or the only one that has kids on the show is Adam.
Alex,
and it's actually funny. Alex is my kid, which no one actually knew.
Wow.
So
wow.
And he wasn't even in country to take me out for Father's Day dinner or anything.
Skin that smoke and see what happens.
What happened was we took Ant's a sperm as soon as he was able to produce it, and I'm like a X-Men. They put me and produced me through like some sort of test tube with some fancy.
You're a test tube baby.
Yeah, but I was a reject, so that's why I'm here with you guys.
Hey, question: Did you shout out why you have the Mexico flag going on right now? Because you are. Where are you? Are you in Cancun? Is that where you're at now?
Back in Cancun, I guess. It's my second home, but is Thailand now my second home and Cancun's my third? I mean, geez, I don't know.
Who knows? You have like 18 different homes. He's back eventually. We don't know when.
Next Saturday, 25th.
Next Saturday,
so
25th.
Saturday,
be in
25th.
studio. So I'm back to the couch.
Allegedly, June 26th, Alex will make his return in studio.
In studio.
And you know what? Just for fun, we might do one episode with him in Ryder Lake. Just for fun. Don't know yet.
You won't have the.
Hey, don't know yet.
Okay, let's get a funny picture of Kellen Moore on this bitch here. Where's our favorite one?
Hey, here's the thing. I really hope that all the things they were saying that he had to deal with are true, and that he can bounce back.
Is he looking at his stupid fucking bangs or what?
Anyone just listening to this, all you have to do is just Google Kellen Moore, and it'll be the photo that shows up from him in college, where he is kind of like
has that full bottle up his ass.
Looks like he's got a head injury, and
looks like he's got a head injury.
Dallas Cowboy Chris says jersey tucked or untucked.
Untucked. Or are we talking about in game or out of game? In game, it's got to be tucked. Out of game, like if I'm tailgating or if we're wearing jerseys while we're watching the game, untucked.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I might do the Wayne Gretzky.
What's that?
Half side.
Just tuck it on one side and then throw it. It's really cool.
We should do the Ezekiel Elliott and have our bellies out.
Oh, crop top. If anything, that's Alex.
Crop top in it. Chris, what do you mean jersey tucked or untucked? In game or while watching?
I thought he was talking about Kellen Moore wondering whether or not his jersey's tucked or untucked right here.
Kellen Moore looks like he doesn't even know where he is.
He's tucked.
He's definitely tucked.
Kellen Moore full tucked. Here's
double glove.
If I did the Ezekiel Elliott right now, my spare tire from these last 3 months of just eating all the food and drinking all the beer, I mean, I'm coming back over 180 for the first time in my life.
You might be up to a large jersey. So Chris is saying tailgating. I want to ask this question. What kind of psychopath wears their jersey tucked in while tailgating?
The same one who would wear the jersey tucked in with like a jean jacket over top or like something.
I mean, that's kind of badass.
Over top of it.
A jean jacket with a tucked jersey. I think we got to rock that now.
I mean,
I'm wearing short shorts, large jersey.
Yeah, I like that.
So you could barely see your fucking
short shorts with long jersey tucked in to your short shorts.
So that the bottom, it comes out at the bottom.
Pockets untucked.
I want the girlfriend sleepover look, where it looks like it's just my jersey. Maybe my little dong's gonna be hanging out the bottom. It's not long enough.
Peekaboo. Okay, I'm gonna check one other thing. I think PFF did. I know you guys had some stuff set up here, but I'm gonna go PFF defensive coordinators.
Yeah, that's up too. Hey, look, we have a list of things to talk about, but right away we go fucking rogue.
Philly sports guy is what Dallas Cowboys Chris is saying.
Oh, Philly sport. Yeah, well, there's your answer. I'm pretty sure that guy's fallen on his head a couple times. So, hi everyone, it's Philly sports. Yeah, actually, he seemed pretty nice. I shouldn't talk shit
you're
about
talking shit about him, and then he was.
No, but we have to. He goes for the shitty Eagles.
Yeah,
The Sheagles.
the Sheagles.
Got him.
Got-
Hey, guess what? Got you guys.
Sheagles.
You got.
Okay, so this is what do you? I don't know where Dan Quinn is on this list, but what do you guys think? Where is Dan Quinn possibly on this? So this
look, if Dan Quinn doesn't rank higher than Kellen Moore, there's some problems.
so he's got to be one,
with it.
which I know he's not because I just saw one, which is this guy.
No, sorry,
Wesley
he's
Frazier.
got to be at least number 2.
I think they're gonna put. I'm gonna say Dan Quinn 6.
Okay.
That's my guess.
So ranking the NFL's best defensive play callers
So what,
ahead.
I'm
of the
saying Dan
2020
Quinn
season.
6.
Who? I guess it's easy. Who?
I say 2.
Who finished? Well, obviously they're gonna have
He was number 1.
him as number 1. You think DQ 6?
I'm saying 6.
I say number 4.
4?
Yeah.
AJ, what do you got? Dan Quinn.
I say 2.
You're gonna say 2?
And I think the
Gotta
Rams.
be.
I think the Rams will be 2.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Mm.
Leslie Frazier, Buffalo Bills.
Good job, Les.
Dan Quinn.
Oh, you
Dan
read
Quinn.
it. You read it, you son of a bitch, didn't you?
I did not.
You
I
read
just
it.
there was no way. Okay,
Yeah.
what's it say?
It says Quinn, who failed as the Falcons head coach at the end. Okay, time out on this already.
That's Lieutenant
Yeah.
Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Dan Quinn, to me, did not. Dan Quinn, to me, didn't fail as the Falcons head coach. He was Tom Brady, absolute insane half away from being a Super Bowl winning head coach. He brought his team to the Super Bowl. If that's considered a fail, I mean, then every defensive coordinator or every head coach, which I mean, since the Cowboys in the 90s has failed, which I guess you could say that, but at least Dan Quinn made it to a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right? Like I find that hard to say he failed. Maybe that's why they said failed as the
Goonies never say die.
Maybe that's why they said failed as the Falcons coach at the end.
Yeah.
But spurred a great turnaround with the Dallas Cowboys, who won their division for the first time since 2018 in 2021. Everyone will look at the breakout season of second-year cornerback Trevon Diggs and the Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign for linebacker Micah Parsons. But Quinn was also able to get great seasons from previously unknown players such as Jaron Kearse, a fan favorite on the CanFan podcast.
Until he does something that we don't like.
Right, who contributed greatly to the team's success in 2021. And, I mean, here they're showing this Eric Eager from PFF is Jaron Kearse broke out this year in a big way. 33 stops, 11 pressures, 10 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a sack. Missed 4 tackles and 1,000 snaps. That's pretty legit. That percentage of missing a tackle is pretty good. Well, I don't know how many tackles he's had, but 4 missed tackles and 1,000 snaps is pretty darn good. And you gotta
This,
this chart.
I don't know what that's on your head. Oh, I
This
thought you
chart
were trying to
is-
lean forward and show us what's on your forehead.
This chart is player war, and average positional
Did you
war.
see it? Did you see how Alex's whole demeanor changes when there's some sort of
chart?
analytical chart on the screen? He's just all of a sudden like, wait, pushes the microphone.
Is this a Venn diagram?
Hey, can you enhance that? Just wait. I need to fact check this.
One thing I will say about Dan Quinn in regards to like Jaron Kearse,
Or Kearse.
it's kind of how he was with Cam Chancellor. Dan Quinn was with the Seahawks, a big-bodied safety who was taken in I think like the 6th round, who probably didn't have I think Dan Quinn's system really sets up a safety to have some chances. Not saying what Kearse did was all attributed to Quinn, but I think they just kind of molded perfectly together.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think they just kind of were the perfect marriage to build off of each other, and it got both of them extended. Quinn came back to the Cowboys, and so did Kearse. So I like it, and that Jaron's probably one of the closest jersey. I want that jersey, and I'm excited to see if he can build off of his success of 2021.
And that's the
Maybe
bottom
I can,
line because
And that's the bottom line.
said so.
Maybe I can trade my Randy Gregory jersey for a J-Ron Curse.
Well, is there a 94 on the Cowboys right now? Because we'll just have to do a little bit of stitchy.
Oh, yeah,
stitching. Let's see.
I don't know
Actually,
if there is right now.
You should just get a Johnson stitch and put it on the back of that because
that's not a bad idea.
I mean, the jersey's too dope to get rid of.
You can't get rid of it.
We'll see.
JJ the Mime in the house. What's up, bro?
Happy Father's Day, JJ.
So Dan Quinn is number 2. I don't think any of us are arguing that.
Well,
no.
I think we owe Cowboy Nations an apology. You thought he was going to come in at number 6.
I
thought he was going to come in at number 4. So let's see who's number 4 and 6.
It's just PFF is so fucking random.
Keep going down. Let's see. Keep on cruising.
Dennis Allen, New Orleans, Raheem Morris.
I thought Raheem was
so
gonna
you
be
got
number
switched.
2.
You got switched.
Okay.
Josh Boyer and Joe Barry. I'll be honest, don't know any of those names.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
I know Raheem Morris. The rest of the guys, I don't follow I follow the NFL. Don't get me wrong, but I don't watch enough of certain teams to know their staff. Like besides their head coach, I don't watch the NFL. Not that I don't watch the NFL. I don't watch other teams other than the Cowboys close enough to know
what's going down.
Who the fucking and that Dennis Allen from actually New Orleans had a decent defense, and same with obviously Los Angeles Rams. But the Rams is one of those things. Like, is it the players or is it the coach?
Look, that's fair.
But it's fair.
No one's coming to the Cowboys CanFan podcast to find out what the New Orleans Saints are doing.
Hey, what do you guys think about Who Day?
Let's Who Day Bengals.
Okay, is it Who Day or this
Huda Bengals?
Chat? Is it Who Day? Who's Who Day? Who's Who Dat? I don't know. One's the Bengals, one's the Saints.
Am I right? Look at these guys.
Okay, we're gonna venture into some of the shit you guys had going on here. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. It was the Saints kind of roll into our next conversation because
is it the 4 takeaways?
It's the Cowboys head coach.
Yeah,
is that where you want to go next?
Mike
so.
McCarthy.
I mean, that's the biggest news of the week. I think we got to hit it.
Well, I'm just trying to look for it here. I don't. Oh, is this it here?
Just
pull up our
seat over just a bit.
Our doc.
There you go.
Oh, I don't have your docs.
You made a doc. I didn't even look at your doc, Alex. Sorry.
Okay, I know what AJ's talking about, so I'll get to it right now. I'll quickly sign it. Go for it.
Fun fact is that I was to Alex. I was like, I'll get everything ready to go before I answer because he's running late, so I'll get everything set up. So I got everything set up. It's weird that we had the worst technical difficulties when I had the entire setup ready to go for 45 minutes. I didn't know you had the Google Doc ready to go, so I just kind of brought up a couple random. If
you're in chat, hit that like button. We're low on the likes right now, and I will say it. I'm not even scared to say it. We need to like it up, share it up, do whatever you want. If you have any questions in chat, we would love to hear them. But this is the thing that we're gonna roll into. Jerry Jones insists Sean Payton shouldn't be a conversation piece for Cowboys coaching job. Is that what you're talking about right there, AJ? That little snippet.
No, he was going to talk about the fun.
Yeah, I just shared the doc in the Instagram, but that is definitely something I thought that we could roll into. So.
Okay. So what do you guys think? Is Jerry Jones just kind of being coy here? Jerry Jones insists Sean Payton shouldn't be a conversation piece for Cowboys coaching job. Look at that.
Is Jerry Jones simply just affording Mike McCarthy the mental aptitude to focus on the season versus versus bringing up people are always talking about it. We're talking about the fact that this is probably Mike McCarthy's last chance to really make a statement. And honestly, even if Mike McCarthy wins us a Super Bowl this year,
he's not gone if he wins a Super Bowl.
I still think
there's no fucking way.
I still think
you don't know.
I still think that long term they would probably still entertain switching him out at the end of the year.
There's no fucking way. I wonder if anyone's ever done that. I think if he wins, no.
What happened with
first season they're 6-10. Second season they go 12-5. With playoffs. Third year they win a Super Bowl. You're not firing the guy.
Now are you just saying that they wouldn't get rid of him because he feels
he won a fucking Super Bowl?
Well, what about the
Jerry
Cowboys
did it 90s?
Though? Cowboys of the 90s, they won back-to-back Super Bowls, and then Jerry Jones, the only reason he got rid of Jimmy Johnson is because Jerry wanted all the credit. That's it.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking you. Do you think then he would, even if they're in a position that Mike McCarthy wins us a Super Bowl this year with our team, which we're expecting to, obviously.
All day, every day.
Do you not think that he would want to? Do you think he believes in Mike McCarthy enough that Mike McCarthy can win us a Super Bowl back to back?
If the Cowboys won a Super Bowl this year with Mike McCarthy, there's zero. I think if they get by the wild card round, they keep Mike McCarthy.
I just think
for
with
another
Jerry,
year.
all I'm trying to make a point is I think with zero chance, you can't say zero chance because
Zero
of the
chance.
fact that we won. And I say we, even though I wasn't a Cowboys fan in the 90s, when Jimmy Johnson wins back to back. And although Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones weren't seeing eye to eye, he won them 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. And then we haven't since then. So
yeah, but the reason he got rid of Jimmy Johnson was because Jimmy Johnson basically took total control. The reason Mike McCarthy's there is because Jerry obviously has some sort of say in shit.
Yeah, he's a puppet master.
It's like a Jason Garrett, a Wade Phillips. That's the kind of coaches Jerry wants. If they win a Super Bowl, Jerry's going to take his credit. Mike McCarthy's going to be like, "Oh, I just want to go to
Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse, get an burger on the way home, grab a triple thick milkshake."
And I don't really think we got to worry about it because if we win another Super Bowl, Jerry Jones is dying the next year.
Yeah, well, that if they win a Super Bowl before Jerry's dead, I might be convinced that there is heaven and hell. It's guaranteed he may have sold his soul for that third championship, but I feel like he's like up the ante and like now sold the souls of like his kids.
Yeah.
Steven. He sold Steven's soul.
Yeah.
He's on layaway for next Super Bowl.
So I think you might be right. And then he's gonna slip down the stairs at the parade or something.
Before we get off Jerry Jones, do you think Jerry Jones texted Vince McMahon? Any insight into the Vince McMahon scandal that's going on this week?
I don't even know what this Vince McMahon scandal is.
Vince McMahon might be stepping down as CEO of WWE. Stephanie McMahon stepping as interim CEO because they found $3 million of hush money that Vince McMahon paid somebody off to keep quiet, one of his possible mistresses. So he's leaving it up to the board to decide what to do with him. Do you think Double J called him and say, "Hey, yo, Vince,
Double J,
been there, done that"?
I don't. Maybe is he a billionaire? Is Vince McMahon a billionaire?
I
guess
so.
I'll check. Let me check. Vince McMahon. This is because Jerry Jones doesn't talk to just millionaires.
Yeah, but Vince. So they just did WrestleMania in Dallas. Vince McMahon and Double J are.
If he ain't a billionaire, $2.3 billion. Yeah, they definitely talked. They're in the good old boys club, man. Of course they're trying to get each other out. He's like, you know what, Vince? You just got to pay them that $3 million.
Well, he did pay him the $3 million. The weird thing.
I can't even zoom in here. Whatever.
That was a weird burp. The weird thing is that Vince McMahon's going to be on TV this week in character addressing the scandal. So
really?
He's going to be on TV as Vince McMahon.
Well, okay, so
scandal.
I need to know, is the scandal a sexual harassment one or just
I think so.
A mistress? Because there is a big difference. Because if it's a mistress, like why wouldn't he use that as some sort of marketing tool? If it's a sexual assault or something, well, then and he's talking about it.
$3 million. I mean, I guess when you're worth $2.3 billion, $3 million is nothing.
Literally nothing.
You got to tune in. You have to tune into Monday Night Raw to find out.
Yeah.
Was this a plug? Today's episode sponsored by the WWE Network. For $14.99 a month, you can get access to all the WWE library, including the most recent WrestleMania held at AT&T Stadium.
So this is the article AJ had. Jerry Jones, Payton to Cowboys rumors pulled out of thin air. Rumors linking Sean Payton to the Dallas Cowboys have circulated for years. And they are reignited once again after the former New Orleans Saints head coach shockingly retired in January while leaving the door open for an NFL return. But Cowboys owner Jerry Jones shut down that speculation Thursday, backing head coach Mike McCarthy to deliver in his third season. Quoted, Sean Payton shouldn't be out there. For him, the Cowboys, that's just sheer out of the air. It's well known, we're good friends, and we think a lot of him as a head coach. But in this case, asking the way you're asking, he shouldn't be a conversation piece.
Oh, sorry about that. Whammy.
Yeah, this is just...
That's a fucking whammy there. That is a whammy.
This is just like... Look, whether or not every every coach after say 3-4 seasons is on the chopping block if they're not performing. The NFL has become a place where, like, except for unless you're in Pittsburgh or New Orleans, speaking of Sean Payton, like, coaches do not really hang around on teams for longer than 5 years, it seems.
Unless they're like, like a Bill Belichick or a Mike Tomlin or a Sean Payton.
Right.
I mean, even Andy Reid's kind of starting
Crack
if you got him, son. I definitely agree with you, and it's a shit or get off the pot season for Mike McCarthy. It's if they don't go further than the wild card round, I'd say he's done.
So do you think? Okay,
Yeah,
so
they got to win.
They got to win in playoffs.
Playoffs. Let's transfer then into the Mike McCarthy OTA fine scandal. It's not even a scandal. He did it. So does this? Do you think Jerry Jones cares at all about this?
That Mike McCarthy got fined?
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy got fined, though, not Jerry Jones.
But we also lose the 2023 OTAs.
Yeah, okay, so this is my thing. There's been a little bit of news in this week with Cowboys Nation.
Scroll it down.
One, but people that are seeing, they don't see what we're talking about. So let me just go like that so we can get rid of the thing I don't like about this, the Mike McCarthy fined $100,000. I mean, granted, this is the issue. He did it. He got fined for this last year. The reason he got fined was the practices were too physical, which maybe they're trying to send a point saying, hey, we're here to fucking beat people up this year.
I guess, with all the news coming out about Ridgeway being a loose, not a loose cannon, but just being rough and getting a raw talent like Smith out there, like you're right. They could be working the Bash Brothers narrative.
Maybe they're going for the narrative. So but then again, he was fine for this last year. I don't think losing an OTA next year really hurts that much. And even this year, they during the mandatory minicamp last week, they canceled the practice and they went to Topgolf, the Cowboys, and people were kind of losing their shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking June, dude. Like,
I know.
Like to me, I get it. The more practice you can get, the better. But it's fucking June. Like, if it was the week before the season and they're not practicing and they're going to play golf, I might be a little bit more pissed off. But like in June, it's a team building thing. They're probably at mini camp. Do you think they're really going crazy anyways?
They can't.
That's what I mean. They get fined if they do. But what do you guys think? Them going to Topgolf?
I don't give a fuck.
I liked it.
I don't.
It's a team thing.
Topgolf.
It's a team thing.
This is what McCarthy said about it. He said, and this is like I can't remember the quote exactly, but he basically said there's a start and a finish. We felt we got the veterans to where they should be, and then the final day, the rookies were just sitting in with the coaches. So like, I think it's a bit of a that the NFL season's hard. And if you can give a little back to your vets who like definitely, I mean, how many fucking times do you have to hear they don't like the off-season workout, right? So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
I get
so give them a little something.
I get what some people are saying. They're saying like a Jimmy Johnson. You would have never caught Jimmy Johnson taking a practice off to go to fucking Topgolf. The NFL is different now, though.
Yeah.
The NFL, they were running 2-a-day practices in pads, hitting the fuck out of each other in June. Right? That's not how it is anymore.
Jimmy Johnson wasn't dealing with concussion stuff. He wasn't dealing with the hyper sensitivity with social media. Like, it is a different world, and I think you kind of have to calibrate your team based on like the now versus what was done before.
Well, and I kind of see the fact, obviously, with them hitting in or doing 2-a-days, obviously that's going to make you a better football team. But at the end of the day, these football teams or franchises, their biggest asset is these football players.
I mean, we know Coach Boone wouldn't have given the
astronaut but it's just maybe not even the Topgolf thing, but more so the 2-a-days in training camp and hitting. I mean, the more times you put a guy at risk to roll an ankle or break an ankle or get a concussion, because the concussion protocol is way crazier now than it was even in the 90s. The less you're going to have that guy practice later, right? You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things. Yeah, they might not get hurt, and they might do training camp 2-a-days for 3 weeks and get all this practice time, but you also risk a guy like Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard or anyone getting hurt and then actually missing extensive time. So I don't mind the way, and this is kind of going off of the tracks a little bit, which we do here. I don't mind the NFL going away from that kind of stuff. Is it getting softer? Yeah, it's getting softer. But if them going softer prevents one NFL player in 10 years murder suiciding someone or like killing themselves, then it's probably worth it, right? Like the CTE thing, they've proven is a thing.
Absolutely. They're few things. They're better athletes. They are in shape 365. And there's some team building that is you
Critical.
can't really. Yeah, exactly. Like you want your players to be going into the season friends, or like wanting to, like, you know, I mean, we've all been in war, right, guys? So
totally.
you want your soldiers to want to fucking be there for each other and you don't want this any animosity. So I have no problem with it, to be quite honest, unless of course we open up the season 0-2. Well, look, I'm going to be a little upset about this.
It's like Dallas is going for it.
If we open up 0-2, skulls are going to roll, son. Skulls are going to roll. I don't know. Don't even talk that way. Speaking of the season opening, is this the first time that we end up beating Tom Brady? I know this is, again, not something we were going to talk about, but the Cowboys have never beat Tom Brady.
I
Is
think
this the time?
Our best chance ever.
I think this is the year.
Also, too, as well, I was going back through old messages, or I was going through some comments and answering them. And there's that one video where I have the Cowboy schedule up and I'm joking around, predict us winning. Win. And someone called me out. They're like, if you think that, you should bet $1,000 on every game. So I think week one, I think I'm going to bet $1,000. And then if hopefully they win, and then I can just use house money for the rest of the season. But I think I'm going to bet $1,000. One, it'll probably pay out well for that first one. But how good of a skit or even a short would that be of that little cocksucker telling me, if you think so, you should bet $1,000 every time, and then we do it. I think last year, if we would have bet $1,000 every game and they go 12-5, you're coming out in the green.
I guess. I guess you gotta. So you basically need that one. Like you bet the $1,000
the first game.
But if you lose it, then you have to bet $1,000 the second game.
No, you have to bet $2,000.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Well, what would the payout be for the second game? I guess you're not going to know until you see.
The first
was
game,
that like an intro into like our sponsorship read right there?
Yeah, it could be. You could enter it right there. But betting the $1,000 against Tampa, you're more than likely the Cowboys aren't going to be favorited. I would imagine maybe they will be because we're at home. Maybe it's going to be so close, but it's at least going to pay $1,000. It's going to at least pay out your bet.
Oh yeah, you're saying, but you're not going to bet 1,000 to just win only a total of 1,000. You'd be winning what, 2,000?
You'd win 2,000.
Yeah,
you'd take home $1,000.
Yeah, okay.
And then even when we're in their favorite, if you win, it's like $700. That's what I mean. If we would have, like, if you did when a year that the Cowboys go 12-5, you're going to come out with, I don't know, more like. Even I wonder last year if you would have bet 1,000 and then just kept rolling your winnings into it. I wonder. Well, I guess once they lost, you'd end up losing.
I guess
whatever you started off with.
Yeah, the goal would be to whenever you win, you just take the winnings. And
the goal would be to gamble our way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which I'll go for it. So this Mike McCarthy thing,
It's like Dallas is going for it.
It's saying a year ago McCarthy was fined $50,000 and the Cowboys fined $100,000 and had an OTA taken away from them this offseason for the same reason. Dallas was one of the 3 teams to be fined in 2021 and have an OTA taken away for practice violations. San Fran, Coach Kyle Shanahan was one of them, and was fined $50,000, and the organization was fined $100,000. And the other team was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, good thing they did that. That really paid off for them.
I mean, honestly, though, like I absolutely can't stand when a player gets fined $15,000 for something. It's like that stuff for the money that they're making. I know it's $15,000 or $100,000 seems that it should hurt, but what's Mike McCarthy's salary?
I don't know, a couple mil. Probably.
Yeah, so like $100,000, Mike McCarthy's probably, whatever. I mean, the OTA thing is probably a little bit more of a hit than him having to pay $100,000 for something. I think a lot of the times they'll be like, yeah, whatever, I'll take the fine. I'll wear my different gloves and I'll take a fine. I'll pay every single game or whatever the case may be. It's when
Jerry.
So I stopped so that you could say that whatever you're going to say. Mike drops it.
You know that Jerry loves a good rough OTA, so he's definitely paying at least half of that fine.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Do you think he just walks
You
down?
and me together.
So
you
Jerry,
and me forever, Mike.
Jerry Jones walks down from the executive office to the practice field. He has a White Castle burger and salt in one hand, and is actually just holding the burger, salting like this.
Yeah.
Tosses a full thing of salt onto the ground, and then he walks up to McCarthy, bite in hand, and he just like reaches into his back pocket, pulls out a wad, and it's not even like a brick of 100K. It's like a wad, so it's like folded all weird.
Yeah.
And it has like triple like tape or something like that. And he just hands it to McCarthy and goes, with mouthful, he's just like, good job, Mikey. And he just walks back. He just walks right away.
Yeah.
He just walks away from it.
I found this in my suit from last year.
Yeah.
I wonder what the most fucked up thing Jerry Jones has ever said in his life. I bet he said some fucked up shit.
Oh.
So is that?
Absolutely.
Is this like you're prompting to bring back What Would Jerry Do?
I don't know. What would Jerry say? I
What
bet
would
he
Jerry
said
say?
some crazy shit.
Yeah, of course.
I can't say what I think.
Back in his wildcatting days?
Yeah, it's not legal what he's probably said is
Jerry, shut up.
Hey, just be careful. Jerry might block us.
Yeah,
Dalton's gonna
absolutely not.
Dalton's gonna walk in, hand Jerry his salt, and say, "Jerry, Cowboys CanFan, they keep talking shit about you. Do you want me to block them? Do you want me to block them?"
Speaking of guys getting blocked or like permanently banned, I don't know if you guys saw that Golden State guy. So the basketball finals were
Draymond.
No, not Draymond. Last week, there was obviously Golden State versus the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, and there's this dude that has this YouTube page. He does like pranks and does basketball stuff, and he kind of looks like one of the guys that plays for Golden State. So he dressed up. He had a barber come and give his like facial hair look the same, and then he wore a Golden State hoodie, a headband, and shorts, and he walked right in. He walked in through the players' entrance. He gets on the basketball court and he's shooting hoops for 15 minutes
Before he got kicked out?
Before he got kicked
Oh
out.
my goodness.
It's pretty legit.
How could you even like obviously they don't want to encourage that, so that's probably why. But like, if I was an owner or something like that, I'd probably be like, man, like that's fucking hilarious.
Well, so they actually during his YouTube because he's walking around the stadium, people are stopping him to get autographs and pictures with him. And then he gets served because he's done it before. He gets served a paper saying you are banned from any Golden State Warriors game. So then there was other teams in the NBA texting or tweeting at him saying, "Hey, when we play Golden State, you're here. You're allowed to be here. Like you can dress up as him, and we'll get you right behind the bench." So that's pretty
hilarious.
I mean, the guy he's got a pretty good big following on YouTube, but
you do those stunts because ultimately you probably don't care if you get kicked out. Like you get kicked out.
Yeah, and for that clout, son. For that, unfortunately, I think we'd have a very, very hard time sneaking in as any Cowboy player. AJ might be able to get in as like one of Jerry's stepsons, or not stepsons. Sorry, I meant to say grandkids. AJ might be able. Yeah, I'm a Jones grandchild. Like, let me in. So we're gonna go. Something else we haven't talked about crack. Actually, you know what? Good call.
Crack 'em if you got them.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
If you got them,
son. Okay, is Micah Parsons? And he's doing like a blowjob mouth here, but is Micah Parsons already the best or the game's best linebacker? Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys lead out.
No.
AJ, give us reasons why.
Definitely a blowjob mouth. But I would say this. He's certainly like one of them. The NFL loves him. He's one of the biggest names in the NFL right now, I would say, on par with a lot of the top dogs. He needs 2 seasons under his belt, and he had such a great breakout rookie season that, you know, we hope that's his fucking floor. But he's got a lot of expectations. So it's going to be very hard for him to come out and produce another season. Not that even if he has a great season, he's just got to outdo what he did last year. And last year was so great. They're going to be probably looking to formulate a game plan. The opponents are going to be looking to block Micah Parsons. So he might not have those same chances, even though, I mean, it was pretty easy to tell, 6-7 games in who he was.
That he was legit.
So I still think he's going to be at the end of his career, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, absolutely. But I just hope that, the sophomore season is a tough one for a lot of players.
Sophomore slump.
For that reason.
Everyone knows it. Sophomore slump. And like you said, 13 sacks to replicate that in your sophomore year. Like, it's almost like he came out. It's kind of like Zeke. Zeke came out in his first year, ran for 1,600 yards. I don't know how many touchdowns, a shit ton. Had these crazy stats. Second year was still pretty good. He led the league in rushing yards his first 2 years. And you're like, oh man, like he set his floor so high. I'm worried with Micah. I mean, even if he does 13 sacks for a linebacker is like, it's almost unheard of. Like, you don't get that type of those numbers as a linebacker. So it's going to be tough, really, really, really tough for Micah Parsons to get 13 sacks again. But it's funny, him and D-Law, I don't know if we've talked about this at all.
We haven't. Oh, no, yeah, you did the last. You talk about the D-Law saying that he wants to get his sack, hold the sack record, and Micah say ain't a chance.
Yeah, so I think that happen. a little bit of inside the locker room, behind baseball competition. I think that's it's good. But to get 13 sacks, that's going to be tough. They really need the rest of the defense to, one, make it so that if you double Micah Parsons or game plan to stop Micah Parsons, then a D-Law or a Sam Williams or Jabril Cox or Osa or Neville Gallimore, one of these other guys, if Micah doesn't get his 13 sacks, one of these guys needs to at least have double digit, I think.
It was more concerning that Alex posted that stat that Sam Williams only has a 26% starting chance.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
or is that Alex or is that you?
Well, Alex posted a really good article that dove into positions and what their chance was as becoming a starter if they were drafted in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. A defensive lineman, if you're taken in the second round, you have a 26% chance of becoming a starter. So that's basically 1 in 4 defensive linemen that's drafted starts, which isn't very, very, I mean, it's not terrible, but we've actually been really lucky. The Cowboys have been almost knocked it out of the park in the second round in the last 10 years. They've drafted guys like Sean Lee. This isn't in the last 10 years, but I'm just thinking second rounders. Sean Lee, D-Law, Randy Gregory, Trevon Diggs. Like, the Cowboys have been had a lot of success at drafting in the second round. I think the Cowboys as a whole in the last 10 years have just been, we talked with this with Barry last week. The Cowboys have been so good at drafting the last 10 years that it's like when they don't hit on a second rounder or a first rounder, you're like, what the fuck? So the most recent besides Sam Williams, and I actually posted about him today, was Calvin Joseph, who was taken in Bossman Fat. He was taken in the second round. Obviously, last year he didn't play much. This year I was kind of hoping to see him, and you still might. Like, do we even really know much about that?
No.
I've Googled it. I think he's taking part in all these offseason activities. Maybe he doesn't get charged, which would be kind of crazy, in my opinion. But all I'm saying is the Cowboys have been very good at drafting in the second round.
All that to say.
Well,
yeah. Big rant for a little.
Big rant, a lot of gasping for breath.
Yeah, Sam Williams had a really good last season of college, and there's two ways of looking at it. Did he just have a fantastic year, or was he coming into his football playing ability? I like to think the latter. 12 and a half sacks in 13 games. I mean, Jesus, if he can keep that going, I'll be happy with a split between him and Parsons, getting 25 between the both of them.
Oh my God! If we get two players that get 25 sacks combined, that would be too legit.
Boner alert.
Boner alert. I'm trying to find this tweet that Micah sent off. It's him and I can't even read how far. Oh, here it is. Look at this shit. They look like fucking twins, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Sam Williams. Okay, I see it now. And then Micah retweeted it saying, don't get them started. But they look like they could be brothers for
Bash
sure.
Brothers.
Fuck, Sam Williams is a unit, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus, that guy lifts. That guy could bench press Alex.
Oh, hell yeah.
You
Maybe
know-
not now.
You know AJ's getting a Sam Williams jersey.
That 54 is a sick number and
yeah,
a great
fuck yeah.
number in Cowboys history, Cowboys lore, Cowboys
All I gotta
folklore.
do, all I gotta do is white out some of that 9 and turn it into a 5. And switch
You make a shitty Sam Williams.
Alex navy blue duct tape and just duct tapes over.
And then
Or no, I guess it would
no,
have
it's-
to be
no,
green.
It's army. Yeah. So he uses
army,
Like
it's army.
He uses black duct tape. So it just kind of looks like it's a digital pattern or something like that.
But back
Yeah,
to the
looks
original
good.
back to the original topic. I don't think Micah's the top linebacker in the NFL yet.
Well, let's quickly, because I know
Yep.
we are on a little bit of a time crunch
Pitch
here,
count.
being at Father's Day. But if we just look at that article, the 2022 NFL linebacker rankings and tiers, and we can do another little fun guessing game.
You could see ants.
Oh, it was
looking.
below. It was below. Okay, yep.
He's wearing sunglasses.
And they're
So-
polarized. I got to
so-
get nice and close.
They're
So
polarized.
Can't see shit. Can't see shit
Well, we
out
can do
here.
a little. I know the answer, but we can do a fun guessing game of what tier is Micah Parsons ranked on.
And or Micah Parsons.
Okay,
Or
so
market-
2022 NFL linebacker rankings and tiers. So is this like not units? This is purely tier.
Player.
Okay. Well, I'm saying he's elite. I'm saying he's tier 1. 100, like without a doubt, in my opinion.
Adam?
I'm just waiting to see if you're gonna puke or not.
Blah. Chat's been dead. Hey,
Me?
Father's Day cast. I mean,
Well, it's right around dinner time of the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, that's something. He's like, people are probably whatever. It doesn't
doesn't matter. We're having a good time. Ad, give us your tier from the old our
I-
dog Micah. Oof, oof.
I agree with you that I mean, the only reason I wouldn't see him being in the top tier is that they might not be considering him a linebacker.
No, well, but like edge.
Yeah. But would that still be classified more
Yeah,
as
he's a linebacker.
defensive line or no?
No, he's linebacker.
Okay, so
So stop trying to get out of your answer.
top tier, I think he'd be rated number 3.
But so you're saying ranked. So is this
Ranked
AJ?
3.
You looked at this. So is this like a top
I looked.
So is this actually says number 1 is him, number 2, or is this like there's a tier of 4
Yeah.
guys?
Yes, there's a tier. So there'll be like 3 or 4 or 5 guys in one tier, et cetera, et cetera.
So
Yeah,
there-
I'd say tier 1, number 3.
I'm just saying tier 1 because I don't know if there is an actual like
Hey, fuck.
rank. So let's check it out. What?
Oh, JJ the Mime's out. See you, JJ.
See you, JJ. Thanks for
Peace,
stopping by.
JJ. Have
So
a good one, brother.
tier 1, the elite few: Fred Warner, who's legit; Darius Leonard, also very good; Demario Davis and Eric Kendricks. And then
You
tier
know.
2's the aging. Oh, so Ad, you might have been right with tier 3. Tier
what?
3, whatever Micah Parsons is.
So that's what I said. So that's
Yeah.
that's what
Well, but you said top with number 3.
I said top
so-
tier number 3, but I'm just saying that,
But they're saying he's 7th.
which is because I think they're just adding him in there because you can't discount him.
Well, let's see.
I don't
Let's read
think-
it.
Let's read it. Like I'm a bench.
Come on, listen
So
up.
tier 2 was Bobby Wagner and then Levante David, and then tier 3 by himself is
Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
Because you don't even, and I think I haven't read this yet. I think the reason that they kind of have him as a Micah Parsons, whatever he is, they don't know how to gauge him yet, type thing. They
Yep.
don't know, and a lot of people like to sleep on 1, the Cowboys players, and 2, rookies, because maybe it was a flash pan season and
Mhm.
he doesn't have the same success. Whereas the other guys, they have multiple seasons under their belts.
I'll read it for you so that because you're wearing your polarizers. So Parsons is already one of the best defensive playmakers in the NFL as he enters just his 2nd season in the league, but it's difficult to rank him purely as an off-the-ball linebacker. Parsons lined up as an edge rusher on 40.6% of his snaps as a rookie, and that's where he did the bulk of his damage. He was good as a true linebacker, but his ability to play 2 different roles on any given snap made him special and provided a hybrid ability that caused problems for the offense. That flexibility is tremendously valuable to the Dallas defense, but Parsons could take his game to another level if he shows development off the ball in year dus.
Yeah, so they're saying as obviously as an off the ball linebacker or an edge rusher or defensive lineman, however you want to spin it. He was super successful, and they're saying if as a middle linebacker or a weak side linebacker or a strong side linebacker, if he can become the top echelon of that in it like that, he'll be unstoppable.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm excited to watch. I'm kind of nervous for his season the most. Kind of him and Diggs. I expect them to have big years, but it's like I have so much expectations from both of those players. Like I had high expectations for Diggs anyways going into last year, because I have it on record, I thought Diggs was going to have a special year prior to the year. And I was excited to see Micah Parsons. And I think it was like the new Top Gun movie.
I know.
It I went in.
Your expectations.
Yeah, it exceeded my expectations. Like I was excited to see the Top Gun movie and then watch it. I was like, oh my God, that was even better than I thought it was going to be. So it's kind of like
which you don't know how to describe how you're like it, because everything in the Top Gun movie was done practically, and you're like, oh, this is like real flying. Like,
and it was so good. It was just so good.
So who is Micah Parsons in Top Gun? Is he
hey, wait
Tom
a second.
Cruise? Is he?
No, he's
Lila B says she's hanging out till the end, and she actually made a comment.
Oh,
on the
Lila
chat.
B.
Oh,
She figured out how to type. Sup, Lila.
Sup, Lila B.
Lila B, aka Baba, aka Kamish, aka Sarge, aka
Bandwagon Boy 3.
Bandwagon Ho.
Bandwagon Ho. For anyone that's watching, that's our mother that Adam just called a hoe. No, if Micah was anyone in Top Gun, I'd say he's the fucking Chachi blonde-headed dude.
Glenn Powell's
I
character,
haven't seen it yet, so-
Hangman.
Yeah, Hangman.
Yeah, I liked his character.
I liked his character too, and he kind of grew it at the end. He's Hangman in my opinion, because he's not Rooster. Rooster was too unsure of himself to be Micah.
Yeah. Rooster is okay. So if you're looking at who Rooster CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, Rooster could be CeeDee Lamb.
So obviously Dak Prescott's Maverick in a way. I guess if we're making
Maverick has to be like an old guy on his way out. Like Dan Quinn about to come in to play a defensive end.
but Dan Quinn. Yeah, but the reason I mean Dak is that Dak's looking for that wingman, and CeeDee Lamb is going to be his.
So you're saying Dak's Maverick?
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying in this scenario.
I don't know. I don't think anyone on the team is really Maverick.
Right,
Jerry.
Actually, you know what? Rooster's Dak Prescott.
I was thinking Rooster's like Tony Pollard.
No, Rooster's Dak Prescott.
I don't know the rest of them too well. We read this, the Micah Parsons thing.
Sorry, what's going on?
We're talking about Micah Parsons' rating. I honestly think he should have been higher. I also think the Cowboys should have pursued Bobby Wagner a little bit more.
Yeah, they needed to go back and get that Maverick.
I'm going to be mad. Bobby Wagner would have been the Maverick of the team if they would have signed him. I think Bobby Wagner, one, he has a lot to prove coming out of Seattle.
Yep.
Two, he had Dan Quinn already as his defensive coordinator. It was just such a perfect match. I honestly think the Cowboys...
They had the cap.
So that's what I was about to say. The only reason they might have not went for him is they realized that they do have guys like, well, next year, Tony Pollard, in a couple years, Ezekiel Elliott, in a couple years, Micah Parsons, in a couple years, Trevon Diggs. You know, they got all these big name players coming up. Maybe they need to kind of sit on as much money as they can.
Yeah, that's a good
so that they can re-sign some of these homegrown, home drafted studs.
Yep.
Right? And we're not talking about Diggs right now, but do you guys think, I think we have talked about it before, how many picks we think he could get? What do you guys think? Do you think he breaks 10 again this year? I think we said, I think we said 7.
I think you said 7, and I don't think you allowed any of us to answer that.
You know what?
Okay, well, next topic.
I think 10. I think 10.
Oh my God.
I think he's going to get 9. I think he'll be shy of 10. I think he's going to do 9.
If he even got 7, if he got 7, that'd be legit. If he got 9 or 10, no one can talk shit about Trevon Diggs ever again.
Yeah. And I
think but what if he allows 700 yards against them?
Oh yeah, I'd rather have a player who only lets up 500 yards
and gets 3 interceptions. And you see my reply? I'm like, yeah, well, that's because you're stupid.
Literally, it was pretty dumb comment, not from you, but from the person who was saying that. I'll take 11 interceptions and 1,000 yards let up
without a fucking doubt. Any day of the week. Okay, let's jump back down to AJ, and I'm just saying, very well put together here.
I apologize, I didn't have everything ready to go beforehand.
And I apologize for being late, but here we go. We got blogging with the boys.
Okay, let's hit one last topic.
We gotta
hit out.
Okay, Paul, which of the Cowboys' top 3 picks is most likely to have the best rookie campaign? I just did an Instagram poll on this.
How'd that do? What was the result?
Well, do we want to say ours first, or should I just say what the poll was?
Sure.
So AJ, we'll start with you. Who do you think? So out of obviously first overall was Tyler Smith, second was Sam Williams, third was Jalen Tolbert or Tolbert.
I mean, I'm playing the probability here. I think Tyler Smith, even if he has a great season, it's not a sexy position. So like it's hard to gauge, right? And not many people are going to pay attention to it. So I'm going to go Sam Williams because Tolbert might have some really good games, but they're out of all of those positions, the wide receiver position is probably, even though it's not like super thick, let's say, with competition, but he's definitely like lower on the rung there. So I don't think he's going to get as many chances as Sam Williams is. So I'm going to go Sam Williams.
Sammy Dub.
I'm going to go Tolbert.
Well, you got to give us a reason why. You can't just
reason why is I think within the first 3 games he's going to have like a really big play. So I think it'll be like a short out to him, and he's gonna have like a 60-yard fucking touchdown,
and we'll be screaming,
and we'll be fucking shocked. We'll be shocked. I'll be beer funneling stuff into Ant,
which is sweet. We'll be butt chugging.
Yeah, I'll be butt chugging that.
Ad's get a beer funnel into my butthole.
Can't wait.
I think I'm not. This is my answer. I'm gonna go obviously with the one you guys didn't go with.
Well, that seems like it's so stupid that you would have. I think that's a stupid rule. You could say the same person.
I was gonna pick the guy I was gonna pick anyways though. Tolbert, I think, like you said, has a good chance because Michael Gallup's out at the start of the season. So maybe Tolbert comes in, maybe starts off as a one of the 1 or 2 wideouts, or he's in the slot. And wide receivers probably have the best chance to look flashy opposed to like a guard.
I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna struggle with getting possibly double coverage. I think this year going in, there's more upside for Tolbert to show some big promise because teams are going to be focusing on CeeDee Lamb or even Schultze and TP20. So as a rookie coming in, you do have it on the offense. If he can ball out, I think he has a good chance. And I think I'm just going to say it right now. I think he's going to turn heads.
I thought you were going to give me a stat line. I'm going, and not
I think he's going to crack 1,000 yards this year.
That'd be sick. I thought all 3 wide receivers were going to get 1,000 last year. Maybe Gallup, CD, and Tolbert all get over 1,000 this year. But I'm going to go with Tyler Smith. And the reason I'm going to go with Tyler Smith, I think he's going to be, and write this down or screen capture this, I think he is going to be a all-pro left guard. Year 1. I think he's going to come in, and like Alex said, it's tough for a guard to really show what they have, but he's going to turn so many heads, and because he plays for America's team, because the Cowboys are always in the spotlight, their offensive line is going to get back to the way it used to be. I think possibly Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott both rush for over 1,000 yards. And I think this big bruiser, Tyler Smith, is going to be the guy leading the way. Fort Worth product, hometown boy, has all the stars aligned. I think he's going to be the one that has the best rookie campaign.
Yep.
I saw a meme that said Tyler Smith kind of looks like Amari Cooper if he ate a bunch of pizzas in the offseason.
I saw that too. And they do look alike. They do look a lot alike. He is a lot bigger than Amari Cooper, though.
Oh, yeah.
The poll pretty much said Tolbert was going to have the best rookie campaign.
Damn,
it's tough.
I feel shitty now that I picked the fucking mainstream pick.
Back to the article that AJ had showed us earlier in the week.
Well, what does this one article say?
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him. This is just who they think's most likely.
So what do they say?
Tyler Smith.
Oh, you read this then?
It says it about all of them.
I can't focus. So what did they say about my boy?
No, this article here, they kind of just go through each possibility. So it's they don't really pick one.
How great is it to see a fucking screen cap? Go back down to Tolbert for a sec, where you see him in air and his muscles are just fucking activated. Okay, looks like he's flexing as
you know what? Before we get out of here too,
as he's flexing and as he's hopping over.
Okay, don't go to the screen here.
I hope he has it like just shredded. I feel like he'd have an 8-pack.
Do not go to the screen here.
If you scroll down to the poll, Ant, you can actually view the results.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, so we can vote. Which of these 3 rookies do you think will have the best year in 2022. Okay, I got a number in my head at 1 to 10. Whoever gets closer to you two gets to pick, or we'll take your pick.
Well, no, I think we should have a consensus. We all had different picks, but did anybody convince otherwise? I think Anth was more convincing than I was in my pick. I think it would be between Smith and Sam Williams. So I'm going to leave it up to you two to tie break this.
But here's my throwback to you is I think you made a really good argument in that wide receiver is the sexiest position of these. And I use sexy a lot when I talk about football positions. But
so's pants.
But
he's not wearing any pants right now.
I think you also made a good something I forgot is Galbert.
Are you fucking the name right? Are you drunk?
Are you
I'm feeling it now. I've had 2 Tallies boys.
He's a Tallies boys. Who were you talking about?
I think Jalen Tolbert. I think he has the
Jalen Galbert.
Yeah. No, Galbert, our wide receiver.
Gallup.
I meshed Jalen Tolbert and Gallup together.
Sorry about that. Whammy.
That's what they get people to call them when they're like playing.
Hey, that's why I'm
volleyball.
bandwagon boy too.
At practice, there's
Galbert's up.
They're playing. They're reenacting the scene from Top Gun 1 where they're all shirtless and playing volleyball. And Team Galbert's versus the Bash brothers, Micah Parsons and Sam Williams.
So I took Sam Williams because I took AJ's pick and it was the least picked. It was the least picked. And I want to say one last thing with this, that article that AJ posted in the chat last week about the best chance of what position.
Like in our chat or like just
in our chat.
Okay.
So
chats that no one on this podcast that's watching
our DMs
looks.
Our DMs. Well, maybe we'll have a Discord.
We need a Discord.
Yeah, we'll have a Discord soon. So Tyler Smith at offensive lineman has the best chance to succeed and be a starter at 83%. Offense or defensive line was like 56%, and then I think wide receiver was the second most likely, which was like 68% in the third, or no, maybe it wasn't third round. Can't remember. I'm butchering it anyways. I think you got to go though, don't you?
Well, play what you're gonna put up first.
Oh, I was just gonna put Jalen Tolbert, and I wanted to hear how they say it because you guys keep saying Tolbert, and I say Tolbert.
I think it's Tolbert,
and I want to see who. Okay, well, let's just see when he was drafted. So don't switch it to.
I want it to be Tolbert.
Well, we're about to figure out here.
You know what? I don't fucking trust the NFL. I don't. There's a conspiracy.
The Dallas Cowboys, they bring in some help for Dak Prescott. Jalen Tolbert, the receiver from.
Boom.
Jalen Tolbert.
Hard T.
Helping.
Hard T. They go a hard T. How racist.
That'd be a great name, Hard T.
Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, this guy looks like a real dick. We can't show you what he looks like because we'll get locked out or we'll get copyright infringement. But this guy looks like a real dickhead.
I'm just gonna give a quick shit.
Final thing before we go.
Give a quick shit. I'm just gonna give a
final
quick
thing before.
There's
final
our
thing
copyright.
before we go to the our Instagram chat and just pull up that tweet I shared.
Okay. It's not a picture of your balls, is it?
It is. Do these look normal?
Is this epidermis or epidermis?
Okay, which tweet did you get? Twitter, this just recent here? In Diggs We Trust?
The most recent share, yeah.
Happy Father's Day, Trevon Diggs Happy Father's Day, Trevon Diggs. These are his sons. Oh, and then is it? Oh, the picture doesn't. Oh, that's good. That is good.
All of the boys.
That's everyone he shut down. So this is another argument, and we could talk about this. But Terry McLaurin, pretty good receiver. Jefferson's good receiver, and what the fuck's his name? Evans, good receiver. No one talks about Diggs shutting all those guys down for a combined total less. All of them combined for less than 100 yards.
Yep.
No one ever talks about that. They talk about the 1,000 yards. Then he gave up.
Well, I mean, maybe they were just going to scheme out to that quarterback.
All right, so we are. It was kind of a weird. We usually go around 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. We kind of mid morning switched it up because obviously Father's Day.
We smashing it like we dashing it.
We're gonna be doing a Thursday episode this week though.
You said we have a guest.
We have a guest.
Are you not going to tell us who the guest is?
Can't. Thursday episode. We'll probably
It's
be
called
going.
Cowboys
Ooh.
Can Fan, not Cowboys Can't Fan.
So we're gonna go 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard, or 6. What time are you gonna be home? 6. We'll go 6.
6 PST is probably
Pacific
safer.
Standard Time. Okay, so we will be back Thursday. We will obviously announce it a little bit better. We didn't really. It was kind of a mashed up. It's the off season. It's how we do.
Yeah, and we had major. I think we lost. We had like 8 people at the start, and it was technical difficulties. So we're probably going to see if we can.
And the ball
exit out.
talk.
And Alex just
The
talking
ball
about his nuts.
talk.
I don't know. I came into
Kilo
that and I
C
thought it was awesome.
first episode that Kilo C never showed up on,
Well, you
and
probably thought we were coming on at 5.
and yeah, I mean that's
Player bullshit outro. This song sucks. I just can't do it. We them boys. We them boys.
Dope.
Cowboy Nation. We them boys. Cowboy Nation. We them boys. Cowboy Nation. We them boys. We out, son. I was going to take that off, but AJ's